فعل لما يريد يحيي ويميت ونصلي ونسلم ونبارك على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا دائما أبدا إلى يوم الدين. حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير. We thank you, Almighty Allah. We praise you, Almighty Allah. We salute you, Almighty Allah. We appreciate you, Almighty Allah. We glorify you, Almighty Allah. Allah is the first without any beginning. Allah is the last without any point of termination. The giver of life. He is the taker of life. The leader of all leaders. The king of all kings. The judge of all judges. He gives life and he takes life. I seek Allah's blessing on Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May Allah continue to be with him, to bless him, bless all his companions, bless all the entire members of his household, and bless the entire Muslim Ummah. May Allah strengthen our faith and make us better Muslims. Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billahi al-aliyyil azim. My brothers and sisters at home, you are welcome to another edition of Nasrullah Al-Fati online Tafseer. Today, in continuation of our discussion on Tafseer Nafsi, purification of soul, we are adding another dimension to it. What is the new dimension that we added to this program? 2 days ago, to be specific, on the 12th of August, was the International Youth Day. And Nasrullah Al-Fati Youth organized the program. As a result of that, we are going to look at those who are living, the youth who are living in the past, who demonstrated faith, and will link it up with the concept of the purification of soul. There have been youth who faced challenges and they left the town, they went and eat somewhere. At the end of the day, they were discovered by people and they became part of history. People will appreciate, people will comment. We are encouraging our youth to take a cue from them. I'm referring to no other group other than as the Abu Kafi. We call them in Islam people of the cave. In another area, they call them the seven sleepers. Then in Islam, we don't regard them as being seven because Allah says He is the only one that knows the number. They are referred to in Sharia version of the story as the seven sleepers. Then in the Quranic version of the story, they are just referred to simply as Abu Kafi. By the time we are doing the tafsir, you understand why Islam or Quran is quiet, is silent on the number of those youth, on the number of days they spent in the cave, and we will now look at thereafter we'll look at some of the lessons that our today's youth and generation of people we can pick from the life of the people of the cave. Inshallah, I've listed about 8 lessons to be learned from them, and it's part of the process of purifying soul to go and take a refuge somewhere, to go for what could be called a retreat. Simply, what the people of the cave did then, but to go and retreat, that okay, people are worshiping idols. We didn't want to relate with them, we didn't want to worship idols with them, we are discussing with them, we didn't want to listen. Let's take a leave from them, let's go and hide ourselves somewhere and we continue to serve our Lord. For you to purify your soul, it's either you choose to live with those who are good, the pious people. If you cannot find that, find time to reflect on the existence of Allah, find time to reflect and set up goals and set a goal for yourself to be better Muslim. Inshallah, we'll look at the lessons in that story of the people of the cave. We look at the areas of congruence, area of similarity between the story of those people as we have in the Quran and as we have in the Sharia version. There's a biblical version of the story too, inshallah. So I look at the lessons and why the Quranic version has limited itself to only the content, only the most important part of the stories. Our book is not a book of story per se. Allah uses story for us to learn lessons. That's why Quran will not go to too much details. It's only talk about the relevant part of any story. Because the motive is not for us to be entertained with stories. The motive for us is to learn from those stories. Inshallah, after our usual recital of Surah Al-Kahfi, unfortunately, the story that we are related today happen to be Surah Al-Kahfi because we are going to concentrate and it's a continuation of our Tafseer Nafsi, purification of soul. It's concentrated Surah Al-Kahfi that particular chapter that the Holy Prophet recommend us to read every Friday. And that's like the fact as an institution that is trying to resuscitate some of the prophetic ways of life. We have decided to recite Surah Al-Kahfi in congregation every Friday. And that's been affording our members the opportunity of not missing the benefit of reciting Al-Kahfi on Friday. Our noble Prophet says, whoever recites Al-Kahfi on a Friday, it will serve as a light for him between that Friday and the next Friday. And it will also serve as a form of forgiveness for him. We seek Allah's forgiveness and we pray that the Kahfi that we're going to read today, no matter that, will make it the means of our getting forgiveness from our sins. Thereafter, we will recite selected portions of Nasrullah and the party prayer book, Nasfat as Salatu book, as we do every Friday, before we now do the Tafseer proper. We don't matter to make it easy for us, and we accept all that we are doing as act of ibadah. Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billahi al-aliyyil azim.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Viewers at home, I welcome you to today's Surah Al-Kahf session of our Friday program. I implore each and every one of us to also take our Quran and follow the recitation as we will be doing here. May Allah make it easy for us. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي أنزل على عبده الكتاب ولم يجعل له عوجا قيما لينذر بأسا شديدا من لدنه ويبشر المؤمنين الذين يعملون الصالحات أن لهم أجرا حسنا ماكثين فيه أبدا وينذر الذين قالوا اتخذ الله ولدا ما لهم به من علم ولا لآبائهم كبرت كلمة تخرج من أفواههم إن يقولون إلا كذبا فلعلك باخع نفسك على آثارهم إن لم يؤمنوا بهذا الحديث أسفا إنا جعلنا ما على الأرض زينة لها لنبلوهم أيهم أحسن عملا وإنا لجاعلون ما عليها صعيدا جرزا أم حسبت أن أصحاب الكهف والرقيم كانوا من آياتنا عجبا إذ يأوى الفتية إلى الكهف فقالوا ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا فضربنا على آذانهم في الكهف سنين عددا ثم بعثناهم لنعلم أي الحزبين أحصى لما لبثوا أمدا نحن نقص عليك نبأهم بالحق إنهم فتية آمنوا بربهم وزدناهم هدى وربطنا على قلوبهم إذ قاموا فقالوا ربنا رب السماوات والأرض لن ندعو من دونه إلها لقد قلنا إذا شططا هؤلاء قومنا اتخذوا من دونه آلهة لولا يأتون عليهم بسلطان بين ومن أظلم ممن افترى على الله كذبا وإذ اعتزلتموهم وما يعبدون إلا الله فأووا إلى الكهف ينشر لكم من رحمته ويهيئ لكم من أمركم مرفقا وترى الشمس إذا طلعت تزاور عن كهفهم ذات اليمين وإذا غربت تقرضهم ذات الشمال وهم في فجوة منه ذلك من آيات الله من يهد الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا وتحسبهم أيقاظا وهم رقود ونقلبهم ذات اليمين وذات الشمال وكلبهم باسط ذراعيه بالوسيد لو اطلعت عليهم لوليت منهم فرارا ولملئت منهم رهبا وكذلك بعثناهم ليتساءلوا بينهم قال قائل منهم كم لبثتم قالوا لبثنا يوما أو بعض يوم قالوا ربكم أعلم بما لبثتم فابعثوا أحدكم بورقكم هذه إلى المدينة فلينظر أيها أزكى طعاما فليأتكم برزق منه وليتلطف ولا يشعرن بكم أحدا إنهم إن يزهروا عليكم يرجموكم أو يهيدوكم في ملتهم ولن تفلحوا إذا أبدا وكذلك أثرنا عليهم ليعلموا أن وعد الله حق وأن الساعة لا ريب فيها إذ يتنازعون بينهم أمرهم فقالوا بنوا عليهم بنيانا ربهم أعلم بهم قال الذين غلبوا على أمرهم لنتخذن عليهم مسجدا فيقولون ثلاثة رابعهم كلبهم ويقولون خمسة سادسهم كلبهم رجما بالغيب ويقولون سبعة وثامنهم كلبهم قل ربي أعلم بعدتهم ما يعلمهم إلا قليل فلا تمار فيهم إلا مراء ظاهرا ولا تستفت فيهم منهم أحدا ولا تقلن لشيء إني فاعل ذلك غدا إلا أن يشاء الله واذكر ربك إذا نسيت وقل عسى أن يهديني ربي لأقرب إن هذا رشدا ولبثوا في كهفهم 300 سنين وازدادوا 9 قل الله أعلم بما لبثوا له غيب السماوات والأرض أبصر به وأسمع ما لهم من دونه من ولي ولا يشرك في حكمه أحدا واتل ما أوحي إليك من كتاب ربك لا مبدل لكلماته ولن تجد من دونه ملتحدا واصبر نفسك مع الذين يدعون ربهم بالغداة والعشي يريدون وجهه ولا تعد عيناك عنهم تريد زينة الحياة الدنيا ولا تطع من أغفلنا قلبه عن ذكرنا واتبع هواه وكان أمره فرطا وقل الحق من ربكم فمن شاء فليؤمن ومن شاء فليكفر إنا أعتدنا للظالمين نارا أحاط بهم سرادقها وإن يستغيثوا يغاثوا بماء كالمهل يشوي الوجوه بئس الشراب وساءت مرتفقا إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات إنا لا نضيع أجر من أحسن عملا أولئك لهم جنات عدن تجري من تحتهم الأنهار يحلون فيها من أساور من ذهب ويلبسون ثيابا خضرا من سندس واستبرق متكئين فيها على الأرائك نعم الثواب وحسنت مرتفقا واضرب لهم مثلا رجلين جعلنا لهاديهما جنتين من أعناب وخففناهما بنخل وجعلنا بينهما زرعا كلتا الجنتين آتت أكلها ولم تظلم منه شيئا وفجرنا كلاهما نهرا وكان له ثمر فقال لصاحبه وهو يحاوره أنا أكثر منك مالا وأعز نفرا ودخل جنته وهو ظالم لنفسه قال ما أظن أن تبيد هذه أبدا وما أظن الساعة قائمة ولئن رددت إلى ربي لأجدن خيرا منها منقلبا قال له صاحبه وهو يحاوره أكفرت بالذي خلقك من تراب ثم من نطفة ثم سواك رجلا لكن هو الله ربي ولا أشرك بربي أحدا ولولا إذ دخلت جنة قلت ما شاء الله لا قوة إلا بالله إن ترني أنا أقل منك مالا وولدا فعسى ربي أن يؤتيني خيرا من جنتك ويرسل عليها حسبانا من السماء فتصبح صعيدا زلقا أو يصبح ماء غورا فلن تستطيع له طلبا وأحيط بثمره فأصبح يقلب كفيه على ما أنفق فيها وهي خاوية على عروشها ويقول يا ليتني لم أشرك بربي أحدا ولم تكن له فئة ينصرونه من دون الله وما كان منتصرا هنالك الولاية لله الحق هو خير ثوابا وخير عقبا واضرب لهم مثل الحياة الدنيا كماء إن أنزلناه من السماء فاختلط به نبات الأرض فأصبح هشيما تذروه الرياح وكان الله على كل شيء مقتدرا المال والبنون زينة الحياة الدنيا والباقيات الصالحات خير عند ربك ثوابا وخير عملا ويوم نسير الجبال وترى الأرض بارزة وحشرناهم فلم نغادر منهم أحدا وأوردوا على ربك صفا لقد جئتمونا كما خلقناكم أول مرة بل زعمتم ألن نجعل لكم موعدا بل زعمتم ألن نجعل لكم موعدا وأودي الكتاب فترى المجرمين مشفقين مما فيه ويقولون يا ويلتنا ما لي هذا الكتاب لا يغادر صغيرة ولا كبيرة إلا أحصاها ووجدوا ما عملوا حاضرا ولا يظلم ربك أحدا وإذ قلنا للملائكة اسجدوا لآدم فسجدوا إلا إبليس كان من الجن ففسق عن أمر ربه أفتتخذونه وذريته أولياء من دوني وهم لكم عدو بئس للظالمين بدلا ما أشهدتموهم خلق السماوات والأرض ولا خلق أنفسهم وما كنت متخذ المضلين عضدا ويوم يقول نادوا شركائي الذين زعمتم فدعوهم فلم يستجيبوا لهم وجعلنا بينهم موبقا ورأى المجرمون النار فظنوا أنهم مواجهوها ولم يجدوا عنها مصرفا ولقد صرفنا في هذا القرآن للناس من كل مثل وكان الإنسان أكثر شيء جدلا ومن منع الناس أن يؤمنوا إذ جاءهم الهدى ويستغفروا ربهم إلا أن تأتيهم سنة الأولين أو يأتيهم العذاب قبلا وما نرسل المرسلين إلا مبشرين ومنذرين ويجادل الذين كفروا بالباطل ليدحضوا به الحق واتخذوا آياتي وما أنذروا هزوا ومن أظلم ممن ذكر بآيات ربه فأعرض عنها ونسي ما قدمت يداه إنا جعلنا على قلوبهم أكنة أن يفقهوه وفي آذانهم وقرا وإن تدعوهم إلى الهدى فلن يهتدوا إذا أبدا وربك الغفور ذو الرحمة لو يواخذهم بما كسبوا لعجل لهم العذاب بل لهم موعد لن يجدوا من دونه موئلا وتلك القرى أهلكناهم لما ظلموا وجعلنا لمهلكهم موعدا وإذ قال موسى لفتاه لا أبرح حتى أبلغ مجمع البحرين أو أمضي حقبا فلما بلغ مجمع بينهما نسيا حوتهما فاتخذ سبيله في البحر سربا فلما جاوزا قال لفتاه آتنا غداءنا لقد لقينا من سفرنا هذا نصبا إذ أوينا إلى الصخرة فإني نسيت الحوت وما أنسانيه إلا شيطان أن أذكره واتخذ سبيله في البحر عجبا قال ذلك ما كنا نبغي فارتدا على آثارهما قصصا فوجدا عبدا من عبادنا آتيناه رحمة من عندنا وعلمناه من لدنا علما قال له موسى هل أتبعك على أن تعلمني مما علمت رشدا قال إنك لن تستطيع معي صبرا وكيف تصبر على من لم تحط به خبرا قال ستجدني إن شاء الله صابرا ولا عاصي لك أمرا قال فإن اتبعتني فلا تسألني عن شيء حتى أحدث لك منه ذكرا فانطلقا حتى إذا ركبا في السفينة خرقا قال أخرقتها لتغرق أهلها لقد جئت شيئا إمرا قال ألم أقل إنك لن تستطيع معي صبرا قال لا تؤاخذني بما نسيت ولا ترهقني من أمري عسرا فانطلقا حتى إذا لقيا غلاما فقتله قال قتلت نفسا زكية بغير نفس لقد جئت شيئا نكرا قال ألم أقل لك إنك لن تستطيع معي صبرا قال إن سألتك عن شيء بعدها فلا تصاحبني قد بلغت من لدني عذرا فانطلقا حتى إذا أتيا أهل قرية استطعما أهلها فأبوا أن يضيفوهما فوجدا فيها جدارا يريد أن ينقض فأقامه قال لو شئت لاتخذت عليه أجرا قال هذا فراق بيني وبينك سأنبئك بتأويل من لم تستطع عليه صبرا أما السفينة فكانت لمساكين يعملون في البحر فأردت أن أعيبها وكان وراءهم ملك يأخذ كل سفينة غصبا وأما الغلام فكان أبواه مؤمنين فخشينا أن يرهقهما طغيانا وكفرا فأردنا أن يبدلهما ربهما خيرا منه زكاة وأقرب رحما وأما الجدار فكان لغلامين يتيمين في المدينة وكان تحته كنز لهما وكان أبوهما صالحا فأراد ربك أن يبلغا أشدهما ويستخرج كنزهما رحمة من ربك وما فعلته عن أمري ذلك تعويل ما لم تستطع عليه صبرا ويسألونك عن ذي القرنين قل سأتلو عليكم منه ذكرا إنا مكنا له في الأرض وآتيناه من كل شيء سببا فأتبع سببا حتى إذا بلغ مغرب الشمس وجدها تغرب في عين عمية ووجد عندها قوما قلنا يا ذا القرنين إما أن تعذب وإما أن تتخذ فيهم حسنا قال أما من ظلم فسوف نعذبه ثم يرد إلى ربه فيعذبه عذابا نكرا وأما من آمن وعمل صالحا فله جزاء الحسنى وسنقول له من أمرنا يسرا ثم أتبع سببا حتى إذا بلغ مطلع الشمس وجدها تتلو على قوم لم نجعل لهم من دونها سترا وكذلك وقد أحطنا بما لديه خبرا ثم أتبع سببا حتى إذا بلغ بين السدين وجد من دونهما قوما لا يكادون يفقهون قولا قالوا يا ذا القرنين إن يأجوج ومأجوج مفسدون في الأرض فهل نجعل لك خرجا على أن تجعل بيننا وبينهم سدا قال ما مكني فيه ربي خير فاعينوني بقوة أجعل بينكم وبينهم ردما آتوني زبر الحديد حتى إذا ساوي بين الصدفين قال انفخوا حتى إذا جعله النار قال آتوني أفرج عليه قطرا فما استطاعوا أن يزروه وما استطاعوا له نقبا قال هذا رحمة من ربي فإذا جاء وعد ربي جعله دكا وكان وعد ربي حقا وتركنا بعدهم يومئذ يموج في بعض ونفخ في الصور فجمعناهم جمعا وأردنا جهنم يومئذ للكافرين عرضا الذين كانت أعينهم في غطاء عن ذكري وكانوا لا يستطيعون سمعا أفحسب الذين كفروا أن يتخذوا عبادي من دوني أولياء إنا أعتدنا جهنم للكافرين نزلا قل هل ننبئكم بالخاسرين أعمالا الذين ضل سعيهم في الحياة الدنيا وهم يحسبون أنهم يحسنون صنعا أولئك الذين كفروا بآيات ربهم ولقائه فأبطت أعمالهم فلا نقيم لهم يوم القيامة وزنا ذلك جزاؤهم جهنم بما كفروا واتخذوا آياتي ورسلي هزوا إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات كانت لهم جنات الفردوس نزلا خالدين فيها لا يبغون عنها حولا قل لو كان البحر مدادا لكلمات ربي لنفد البحر قبل أن تنفد كلمات ربي ولو جئنا بمثله مددا قل إنما أنا بشر مثلكم يوحى إلي أنما إلهكم إله واحد فمن كان يرجو لقاء ربه فليعمل عملا صالحا ولا يشرك بعبادة ربه أحدا صدق الله مولانا العظيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الذين يذكرون الله قياما وقعودا وعلى جنوبهم ويتفكرون في خلق السماوات والأرض ربنا ما خلقت هذا باطلا سبحانك فقنا عذاب النار ربنا إنك من تدخل النار فقد أخزيته وما للظالمين من أنصار ربنا إننا سمعنا مناديا ينادي للإيمان أن آمنوا بربكم فآمنا ربنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار ربنا وآتنا ما وعدتنا على رسلك ولا تخزنا يوم القيامة إنك لا تخلف الميعاد ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله والله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد الله أكبر كبيرا والحمد لله كثيرا وسبحان الله بكرة وأصيلا لا إله إلا الله وحده أنجز وحده ونصر عبده أعز جندا وهزم الأحزاب وحده لا إله إلا الله ولا نعبد إلا إياه مخلصين له الدين ولو كره الكافرون اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وعلى أصحاب سيدنا محمد وعلى أنصار سيدنا محمد وعلى أزواج سيدنا محمد وعلى ذرية سيدنا محمد وسلم تسليما كثيرا فاتحا بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين إني وجهت وجهي للذي فطر السماوات والأرض حنيفا وما أنا من المشركين قل إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين لا شريك له وبذلك أمرت وأنا أول المسلمين سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين وإما ينزغنك من الشيطان نزغ فاستعذ بالله إنه هو السميع العليم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ويعقوب استغفروا ربكم ثم توبوا إليه يرسل السماء عليكم مدرارا ويزدكم قوة إلى قوتكم ولا تتولوا مجرمين أستغفر الله العظيم الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه اللهم فرج وعفو أستغفر الله العظيم الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه أستغفر الله العظيم الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه أستغفر الله العظيم الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه أستغفر الله العظيم الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه أستغفر الله العظيم الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وكل حمد لله الذي لم يتخذ ولدا ولم يكن له شريك في الملك ولم يكن له ولي من الذل أكبره تكبيرا سبحان الله أسمر الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله والله أكبر والله أكبر والله أكبر لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم كلمتان خفيفتان على اللسان ثقيلتان في الميزان حبيبتان إلى الرحمن سبحان الله وبحمده سبحان الله العظيم سبحان الله وبحمده سبحان الله العظيم سبحان الله وبحمده سبحان الله mo ti mọ̀ pé mi wá sọ́gbà Allah العظيم àti àsùnláyọ̀ subhanallah وبحمده سبحان الله سبحان الله وبحمده سبحان الله العظيم سبحان الله وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته سبحان الله والحمد لله أستغفر الله الله لا إله إلا الله حي واحد حي حي قيوم دائم حي الله حي واحد حي حي قيوم دائم حي سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وعنت الوجوه للحي القيوم وقد خاب من حمل الظلم ومن يعمل من الصالحات وهو مؤمن فلا يخاف ظلما ولا هدما يا حي يا قيوم أنا لا إله إلا الله يا حي يا قيوم أنا لا إله إلا الله يا حي يا قيوم أنا لا إله إلا الله يا حي يا قيوم أنا لا إله إلا الله يا حي يا قيوم أنا لا إله إلا الله يا حي يا قيوم أنا لا إله إلا الله يا حي يا قيوم أنا لا إله إلا الله يا حي يا قيوم أنا لا 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 إله إلا الله اللهم يا ربي صل على محمد وسيد سادات نبي محمد اللهم يا ربي صل على محمد وسيد سادات نبي محمد سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Alhamdulillah, 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 Rabbil Alamin. Thank Allah who has made our wishes to be in line with His own. We have come to the Tafseer section of today's program. And as I've said at the beginning of the program, that we are going to focus on the role of youth in Islam, the lesson that we can learn from the people of the cave. Why are we doing this today? August 12 has been declared as the International Youth Day. Nasrullah the Party Youth organized a program on Wednesday, which we call Youth Engagement for Global Action. And they were talking about the climate change. And I said, okay, today's session will be dedicated to them because the people that will be making, they are going to make our reference points, the people of the cave, they decided to retreat from the town. They went and eat somewhere in order to run away from those who are worshiping idols, in order not for their souls to become corrupt. And the discussion we have been having the last 3 months centered around purification of soul. And we have been using so many references like Mutarat al-Qulub, being Qatarat al-Uyub, the book written by Imam Muhalud, and the book was translated by Sheikh Amsar Yusuf. We are using so many other books, one by Ibn Taymiyyah. I want to be picking verses of the Quran and the relevant tradition from the hadith of the Prophet, the youth in Islam. Why focusing on the youth? Why we want to encourage our youth, the youth of nowadays, to emulate people of the cave, who because they didn't want their soul to be corrupt, so they decided and eat themselves somewhere, and Allah made them to sleep for so many years. You will see the part of when I say 300, and it says 300 for the lunar year and 300 for the solar year. The Allah himself says as a subsequent phase that he knows the reason, the number of years. In the world demographic feature, the number of people in the world, our youth make up of 42% of the number of the people in the world, population of the people in the world. According to UNFPA, the children, the adolescents, and the youth, I'm talking about those who are between the age of 10 to 24 years. They are 1.8 billion now. And we're talking about the number of people in the world. They have taken about 42%. It means this is a critical mass of the world population that will not be ignored. This is a critical mass of the world population that are often that often carry the banner of change. You to carry the banner of change right from the time immemorial. And that's why Ibn Kathir said, at the beginning of the prophethood of our noble Prophet, the majority of those who accepted him were youth. Most of the elderly ones, they stuck with their guns. They decided to remain as silent worshippers. But the youth, they changed and they embraced the renaissance, the new life. And that is why we have to talk about them. That's why we are dedicating today's Tafseer to the entire youth of the world. I said earlier on that the youth carry the banner of change. I said they form a critical mass in the world population. And I said that by if we get our youth right, if we are able to train them well, if we are able to orientate them well, the world and the entire people of the world will be better for it. Number 3, our Muslim youth, they are our future leaders. They are our future leaders. And that's why it is important for us to continue to educate them on how to utilize their time, on how to utilize their skills, and how to improve their faith. Allah said in Quran chapter 18, verses 9 to 26, referring to this, to a set of youth in Surah Al-Kahfi. Why did Allah decide to relay this story? The Quraysh and some people of the book, they challenged our Prophet and they asked him 3 questions, thinking that he will not know if he claimed to have the knowledge of some hidden information, hidden fact, he'll be able to tell the story. They now said, what can you tell us about the people of the cave? What can you tell us about Agnew and Moses? What can you tell us about Turi Kolnei? When he said that Allah revealed Quran chapter 18 from verse 9 to 27, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ana sayaba al-Kafi wa Rakimi kanu min ayatina ajaba.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أم حسبت أن أصحاب الكهف والرقيم كانوا من آياتنا عجبا إذ أوى الفتية إلى الكهف فقالوا ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا.
Before you go further, the opening part of that particular story says, Ama Asimka. And as when I was trying to look for the meaning of this verse, I consulted 35 translations. May Allah continue to bless those who set up Islam Awakened. If IslamAwakens.com, if they pick a verse of the Quran, they will give you about 30 or 35 translations, the understanding of Spanish scholars about it. And when I look at this, when I search on this website, Islam Awakened, they gave me about 35 minutes of this particular verse, the opening part of people of the cave. And all the translations, they have similarities. They have similarities. It says, "Kama asirika anna zikaba lekabi warakini kanu min ayatina ajaba." Do you think? Do you reflect? Do you assume? Do you assume that the people of the cave and the inscription on which their names were written, kanu min ayatina ajaba? Do you think that that was one of the wonders of ours? Every one of them mentioned people of the cave, and they mentioned inscriptions, and they mentioned wonder. These are the three key words. Even though on some rare occasions, you will see people translating Rocky as the name of the dog. You see people translating Rocky as the leader of the people of the cave. But all the 35 translations that I consulted on this particular verse, they refer to then the Rokim are the instruction, are the scriptures, as the paper on which some says, as I said, the people they consulted. Some says the people on which their names were written. What is saying is that the essence of the past is that do they think that by Allah making a group of youth who left town because people are worshiping idols and they went and eat somewhere. Another made them to sleep for so many years. People are saying 300, people are saying 309. Because so many kings passed by before they woke up. And I said, are you thinking that that one was a big wonder? You could have to be one of the wonders of what we can do. What I was trying to say is that we, and I, Allah, who could make you to die, you die for several years, and I wake you up after so many years. Is that no more wonderful than people sleeping? And when they woke up, they were asking themselves, how long have we slept? Some are saying 1 day, some are saying half a day. Ama asirika anasema likafi warokili kanu min ayatina ajaba. Idi awajja fi alikafi faqalu rabbana.
إذ أوى الفتية إلى الكهف فقالوا ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا.
This group of people, which I said in Islam, we don't refer to them as the 7 sleepers because nobody knows the number. Number 2, we don't care much about the number of days he spent. Allah said, people will say they are 7.
فيقولون ثلاثة رابعهم كلبهم ويقولون خمسة سادسهم كلبهم رجما بالغيب ويقولون 7 وثامنهم كلبهم قل ربي أعلم بعدتهم ما يعلمهم إلا قليل فلا تمار فيهم إلا مراء ظاهرا ولا تستفت فيهم منهم أحدا.
Allah said, some of them will be saying they are 3, and their dog was the 4th. Some will say they are 4, and their dog happened to be the 5th. Some will say they are 6, and the dog happened to be the 7th. Okay, some say they are 7, and the dog was the 8th. Cool. Oh, Prophet, tell them. And the one, only Allah knows the number. Tell them, my Lord is the only one who knows the number better. Don't argue with them, don't dispute them, don't argue with them, do not argue with them. An obvious argument. And don't inquire about any speculation with the people of the book. Tafseer says he was referring to the people of the book. Don't go into any speculation with them. Don't bother yourself about how many are they. And that's one of the beauties of Quran. Quran cares less about unimportant issues. What does that do with the number of people who hate the cave? That's not relevant. The reasons why they left, the lesson that people will learn from their living, the people who are worshiping idols, those reasons are more important for you to dissipate your energy on than to be looking for the numbers of them, to be looking for number of days they spend. They are also saying that these youth, they left because all people who are worshiping, who are in the environment then, they were worshiping idols. And they didn't want to worship idols with them. They left the town and they went, they saw a dog, they went with that dog. When they got to a cave, they entered the cave, they are okay, let us rest for a while. When they slept, Allah made them to sleep for more, some are saying 300 years, some are saying 309 years, either of them. If you take 300, you are using lunar. If you take 309, you are using solar because our Hijra calendar is always 11 days shorter than the Gregorian calendar. If you calculate it using the Gregorian calendar, you are going to get 309. If you calculate it using the lunar, you are going to get 300. Moreover, Allah said, وَلَبِثُوا فِي كَهْفِهِمْ ثَلَاثَمِائَةٍ
ولبثوا في كهفهم 300 سنين وازدادوا تسعا قل الله أعلم بما لبثوا له غيب السماوات والأرض أبصر به وأسمع ما لهم من دونه من ولي ولا يشرك في حكمه أحدا.
25.
سيقولون
That is the number of days he spent in the cave. The
ولبثوا
scholars are saying it was not Allah that made that statement. Allah was referring to the speculation of people.
ولبثوا في كهفهم 300 سنين وازدادوا تسعا.
Scholars are saying that particular statement was not made by Allah. That Allah was just telling us the statement being made by people who are speculating about the number of days because the subsequent verse and then that version of Ibn Abbas and Co. The subsequent verse will reveal to us that that was not categorical. The number of days spent in the cave was not categorically made by Allah because Kulillahu alamu.
قل الله أعلم بما لبثوا له غيب السماوات
Kulillahu
والأرض.
alamu bima labithu lahu ghaibu samawati wal ardi. Allah knows best the number of days he spent in the cave.
أبصر به
He knows what is
وأسمع.
hidden. He knows what is manifest. What I'm trying to say is that when we are talking about the story of the people of the cave, we should be making reference to some of these facts that it was not Allah that mentioned the number of days he spent because he said, the subsequent verse said, only Allah knows the number of days. Means that is nullifying the 300 and 300 days. Number two, their numbers, whether they are 7, whether they are 8. Allah said, very few people know the number. Very people know the number. Even though Atabari said, Ibn Abbas said, Ana min ulaika al-qalil, alladhina istathna Allah. Ana min ulaika al-qalil, alladhina istathna Allah. كانوا سبعة وثامنهم كلمهم. In Tafseer Atabari, he said, Ibn Abbas was going to have said that I was one of those 3 people who know the number of the people of the cave. Said they are 7, and their dog was the 8th being with them. As I said earlier, that was not of importance to Muslims. The important thing to us are the lessons that we get from it. And I've have about 8 lessons. He went and hid himself there. Allah made them to sleep. They slept off. So many rulers reigned when they were still sleeping. And Allah said he was turning, because of time, Allah said he was turning them. He was turning them on one side. So that the side on which they lay on the floor will not get rotten. He made the dog to stay at the mouth of the cave. So that nobody will have access to that cave. Everybody is okay, there's a dog going that side. Don't just go there. And they were there sleeping for years. For years. People were making gesticulation, people were making speculation that in 300 days or 309 or 200 years. But Allah said he knows the number of years. Allah decided to wake them up one day. When they woke up, he asked one of them to go to town to go and get food for them. Because he just thought that they had just left for one day or half a day. That was the reference that Allah made to the number of days they thought they had spent in the Quran. When he said, I don't know that there, are you asking Tohani to go and get them the best food, the pure food. When you want to eat food, you must ensure that that food is pure. He sent one of them to town. When he got to town, he went with the old coins. And the ruler of that coin that died so many years ago, The person wanted to buy something from was amazed. Where was this one from? Where did you get this coin from? They decided to call the elders and said, this man has come to buy something from us, and the money he wanted to spend for us was an old coin. Where did he get it from? Those who knew history now realized that he had lived.
إنهم إن يظهروا عليكم يرجموكم أو يعيدوكم في ملتهم ولن تفلحوا إذا أبدا.
When they were sending one of them to go and get something from the market, they said, be careful, don't reveal your identity. They thought they just slept yesterday and they just woke up today. Don't reveal your identity. If you reveal your identity, they are going to bring you back to that old faith. Don't let them know that you are one of the youth who are run away from the church to go and hide somewhere. You are one of the youth who are being the vanguard of change. You are one of the youth who are trying to evangelize them. Just go there, go and buy something, thinking that they are just spent just one day half a day. And when one of them that was sent to the market got there and he brought out the coin, they said, where was this one from? This money that was spent during the time of so number, so king. Everybody now surrounded him. So then he realized that this is one of the youth that went away to run the front of those who were worshiping idols. What Allah was trying to tell us is that if you find yourself in a situation where you're not allowed to practice your religion, don't succumb. Don't forsake your faith. Leave that environment and go and find where your religion can be practiced without fear of persecution. Our noble Prophet was in Mecca, he was persecuted, and this particular chapter of the Quran was revealed during the third stage, according to Maududi, during the third stage of his prophethood. That third stage was so severe for the Prophet. That stage was the time when Prophet was boycotted by the people of Mecca, and the companion were boycotted by the people of Mecca. Economic sanctions were placed on them. They wrote their names on the wall. Their people did not sell things to them. They suffered them a lot. That was the time that this thing was revealed, trying to strengthen the faith of the Prophet and his companion. Third stage, according to Madudi, the third stage of the prophethood. One of the lessons learned from the story is that if you are in an environment and you cannot practice your religion very well, you are allowed to leave that environment. When the persecution was so much for the Prophet and his companions, the first place they migrated to was Abyssinia, nowadays Ethiopia. Ethiopia. They asked some people to go there and go and take refuge there. Even when they went there, the Quraysh sent an embassy to that king, and they told the king that he didn't allow them to stay. They left the first people that migrated. They went to Abyssinia. Thereafter, we have the Hijrah of Medina. That is 613 AD. They have done the one which took them to Abyssinia. What Allah is saying is that if you are in a situation and the practice of your religion is very difficult for you, you can take a leave and find somewhere else to practice religion. In a life was here. It's not an excuse that I'm not allowed to practice my religion, that I'm going to stay put there. Find a way you can practice religion. Number two, what happened to them was a trial of faith. They had recognized Allah, they had recognized monotheism, but others did not see reason with them and they wanted to torture them. And that was a form of economy of the Prophet that if you are facing persecution now, people have faced trials in the cause of accepting Allah, accepting monotheism. Your own is not new. Trials of faith. Whatever your situation is, your faith will be tested. It will be in form of loss of life. It will be in form of loss of job. It could be in form of loss of crops. It could be in form of loss of something that is very dear to you. There is nobody whose faith will not be tested. He also said it, Kabut said, the people think they are going to say we believe, and they're not going to be tested. The people of the cave, they went through what we call the trials of faith. In their cause, this one, they went through it in their cause to get their heart purified, and their cause not to make their heart to be corrupt. Number two, that we want us to learn from this particular story is that youth who worship Allah are a special favorite. As a youth, it's not an excuse for you to say, well, I'm still young. I'm still enjoying my life. If you worship Allah at your young age, you are going to be a favorite of Allah. Imam Ali reportedly said that there are two stages in one's life. There are two things that one will not appreciate until one loses them. He said the earth and the youth. If you don't use your youth very well, you are going to regret it. Prophet reportedly said, reinforcing and corroborating the belief, the saying that any youth who worship Allah will be a favorite of Allah. Prophet said, Abu Hurairah gave us this hadith. He said, Sab'atun yusilluhumullah fi sillihi yawma la silla illa silluhu. He said, some people will be under the shade of Allah on the day that will not be any other shade apart from the shade of Allah. 7 people will be under the umbrella of Allah on that day. There will not be any other umbrella apart from the umbrella of Allah. When it is raining or it is sunny, you can get you can get to any market and say, I want to buy an umbrella to protect myself. If we will buy the worldly umbrella, it's available. It's not be available today. If you buy it, that will not protect you from that kind of heat that will be generated on that day. The record has it that the sun will be made to move very close to our edge, very close to our edge, to the extent that the sweat of some people will be up to their chest, and people will be saying, "Oh Allah, carry out the judgment. Whatever you want to do to us, do it. This heat is too much. This suffering is too much." On that day, when people will be complaining of it, President said, there are some people. You see the woman laugh of it, you last said, Allah himself will provide them with safe when there is no other safe apart from the safe of Allah. He said, Al Imam al Adil, any just leader, if you are a just leader, on that day, Allah will put you under the safe. And a youth who grew up in the worship of Allah. Any youth, that's one to be underlined because that's the essence of today's discussion. Any youth who grows up in the worship of Allah, by the time he dies and on the day of resurrection, he will be among those who will be under the shade of Allah. And that's why I encourage the youth to continue to worship Allah and to endeavor to practice pure faith, to continue to ensure that their souls are not corrupt. We have dedicated today's Tafseer to them in solidarity with them for the celebration of the National Youth Day of August 12, and we want them to take lessons from this. Any youth who worships Allah right from his youth age until he gets old, on the day of Qiyamah, when people will suffer from heat, scorching heat, Allah will put that youth under his shade. Another one is وَرَجُلٌ قَلْبُهُ مُعَلَّقٌ بِالْمَسَاجِدِ masajid. And anybody whose heart is attached to the mosque. What am I saying? Anybody who continue to watch out for the time of Salah. So we have observed Zuhr, when it's time for Asri, the time of Muslim, and his heart is continuously attached to the mosque. Will be under the shade of Allah, without youth who worship Allah until he dies. وَرَجُلَانٍ تَعَبَا بِاللَّهِ اجْتَمَعَا عَلَيْهِ وَتَفَرَّقَا عَلَيْهِ. And 2 men who met for the love of Allah, and when they were departing, they depart for the love of Allah. They are being friends for the sake of Allah, and when they are leaving each other, it's for nothing except for the love of Allah. وَرَجُلٌ دَعَتْهُ امْرَأَةٌ ذَاتُ مَنْصِبٍ وَجَمَالٍ. And a man who was invited by a woman who is very beautiful and very rich. The woman is beautiful and the woman is very rich. And he has called on a particular man that let us do sinner together. Let us do bazaar together. And that man says, Inni akhafullah. I fear Allah. I fear Allah. I can't do any bazaar with you. That person will be under the shade of Allah without you who worship Allah on the day of Qiyamah. And that man who spends his wealth, who gives out sadaqah, his right hand does not know what his left hand has spent. What does that mean? It means those who give sadaqah and they hide their sadaqah from others. They don't announce their sadaqah. They don't say, oh, for my sake, for my favor. That man will have been kicked out of his house. If not for my favor, if not for an intervention, that man's child will have been sent away from school. They will do sadaqah silently, like they will do sadaqah secretly, without letting people know. Even though the Lion brother says, if you conceal your sadaqah, it is good. If you make it not open, it is good too. Making it open at times could be a lesson to those who don't want to spend. But it is better to hide our sadaqah. Allah said, the Prophet said, those who hide what they spend as sadaqah from others, they be under the shade of Allah when there is no other shade, and they will be there without you who worship Allah till they die. وَرَجُلٌ ذَكَرَ اللَّهَ خَالِيًا فَفَاضَتْ عَيْنَاهُ. And that man who remembers Allah and he starts shedding tears. My brothers and sisters in Islam, when last you remember Allah to the extent of shedding tears, even when they are reading the Quran and you know the meaning of that Quran, or they are doing tafsir or they are doing lecture, your heart will not move at all. You will not be moved to tears. It means you need to work on your heart. You need to talk about yourself. When they are talking about Allah, they are talking about Al-Jannah, they are talking about hellfire, when they are talking those types of people, when they mention Allah, their heart will shake. Are you one of them? Do you set your heart at the remembrance of Allah? May Allah count us among those who will hear the word of God and make use of it. Inshallah, when we meet next week, we will continue with the story of the people of the cave and what are the lessons that a Muslim will learn from their stories. Allah doesn't just tell stories for the sake of telling stories. It has employed piece of storytelling as a way of driving home his messages. He has employed similitude, giving us sample as a way of driving home his messages. He has employed oath. Started to use oath statement in order to drive home his message. What I'm saying is that the story you are listening to is not for entertainment. It's for you to imbibe the lessons that are in this story. People of the cave. As I said at the beginning of my lecture, we don't refer to them as the seven sleepers in Islam. We refer to them as the people of the cave because we care less about their numbers. We care less about the number of years they spent in the cave. What we care about are the lessons inherent in their lifestyle. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين صلوا على النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. After thanking Allah, we thank all those who are supporting the causes of Nasrullah in the party. Man lam yaskuri nasa, lam yaskurillah. Whoever can also appreciate his fellow human beings will never appreciate his creator, Almighty Allah. We thank you for being with us. We thank you for advancing the causes of Nasrullah in the party. In the last 4 or 5 weeks, when we came to you to partner with us so as to put smiles on the faces of those who are vulnerable during the COVID-19 pandemic. And at the end of the day, with your support and the support of Almighty Allah, we were able to disburse 66 million naira in cash and kind to the vulnerable. And the number of households that were touched then were over 20,000, with about 170,000 individuals. As you can see, we still have a lot of projects, and we want you to partner with us. Use Nasrullah Al-Fatih platform to earn the mercy of Allah. Use Nasrullah Al-Fatih platform to earn the mercy of Allah. We are scrolling the account details of some of the projects that you can assist us to execute. This is a non-governmental organization. We rely on donation, and with your support, we'll be able to provide shockup to the downtrodden, be able to provide amenities, be able to assist government in so many areas. We are building a multi-purpose Islamic center at kilometer 30, Lagos by the expressway, and that will cost us about $800,000. With your support, with your interest, with your patronage, We have spent over 250 million naira on that project, and it's still ongoing. The account is being scrolled because the Prophet reportedly said, "Whoever builds the house of God, the Almighty God will be the house for him in paradise." The meaning and implication of that particular hadith is that that person will enter paradise. Because Allah cannot say you are going to have a house in paradise and become a landlord and you are residing elsewhere. By implication, if you build a house for Allah, what other is saying, Man bana masjid Allah, bana Allah lahu bayta fil jannah. Whoever builds a mosque for Allah in this world, Allah will build a house for him in Al Jannah. Somebody who says it's a paradise. Whatever. The fact that you are going to get a house in Al Jannah means that you are going to be a dweller of Al Jannah. Then, if you do sadaqah regularly, if you contribute toward the cause of Allah regularly, so many bala, so many harms, so many afflictions, Allah will take it away from you. Prophet said, "Inna sadaqata sirri tutfi'u ghadaba rabbi." Inna sadaqata sirri tutfi'u ghadaba rabbi. Tabaraka wa ta'ala. The secret of the secret of generosity, the secret of giving alms is that it expiates, it removes the anger of our Rabbi, of our God. It removes the anger of our Lord from us. If Allah is pleased with someone, what else does one want? Another advantage of spending the cause of God is that whatever calamity that will befall you, whatever affliction that Allah has destined to befall you, with your sadaqah, with your donation, Allah will lessen the impact of that affliction. Allah will lessen the impact of that calamity. Come and join us to party in making impact in this world. Everything that we are accumulating, by the time we go, it belongs to someone else. But all these people you are invited to come and participate in, our multipurpose Islamic Center, our university, Pantry University, then our Zakat Sadaqah agency, all those things will become Sadaqah to Jariya for you. They become recurrent charity for you. Come and join the party in making Islam something that people will be proud of. By the time we finish that structure, it's one of the biggest mosques in this part of the world. A lot of people will come here to learn about Islam. A lot of travelers will come over to observe their salah. A lot of people will go there to seek Islamic knowledge and to go and read in the libraries. And whether you are still living or you are dead, that reward will continue to come to you. And that is why we always come to the public that we want us to enter an agenda together. This is a non-governmental organization. We live on donations. Come and be part of the success story. Join us to party in advancing the causes of Islam. Join us to party in promoting Islam. Join us to party in making Islam beautiful. We run the society regularly. This program you are watching, we want to put it on television. We want to have a television studio. We can't do all these things without getting enough funding. And that is why we have come to you again to come and use this platform to promote Islam. To come and use this platform to earn an agenda. To come and use this platform to advance the cause of Islam. And every kobo spent for Nasrullah party, inshallah, will be accounted for. We don't matter make it easy for you. We don't matter share our life. We have been praying since morning. And when we pray, what we make the prayer to be answered very fast is to give sadaqah. Give sadaqah for this prayer that we have been doing this morning. We don't matter Allah accept all our prayers. Be with all of us and make it easy for us to donate to his cause. Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billahi al-azim. 3 accounts, details have been scrolled on the screen. The one we call Ankara, every cover donated that will be spent on that university. The one for the Islamic Center is for the construction of that multipurpose Islamic Center available by the expressway. We will still start to western part of Nigeria. And the last one is for the running of the secretariat of this society. We continue to make impact as long as you are supporting us, because without you and without Allah using you to assist us, there's little or nothing we can do. No matter that be with you, may Allah make it easy for you to donate, and may Allah accept it from you as an act of ibadah. إنا أعطينا بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. Alhamdulillah, 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 Rabbil Alameen. That has been today's tafsir for you from Nasrullah al-Fatih. As we do, before we conclude, we need to give our intentions and I will recite the khutbah. You may Allah not make this one the last tafsir you're going to listen to. You may Allah not consider what you are doing as an effort in futility. May Allah add it to our scales of goodies on the day of Qiyamah. My brothers and sisters at home, you are now to give your intention because our noble Prophet says that particular day on Friday, during which any prayer that is said will be answered by the Almighty Allah. He didn't mention that particular time. This time will be the time, and that's why I'm enjoining you to give your intention to the Almighty Allah silently. Ànábì Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam sọ fún wa pé àwọn àsìkò kan bẹ nínú ọjọ́ Jímọ̀ kò sí tí èèyàn bẹ lọ́hùn fún gbà náà tí Ọlọ́run ò ní ṣe ọwọ́ adápọ̀ àsìkò náà ọ̀sọ̀ gbígbà túbà ní ọ̀sọ̀ gbígbà táwọn sáré wà láni gbígbà táwọn kí Jímọ̀ lọ́wọ́ ní ọkàn níjọ́ Jímọ̀ àwa màsìkò tó jẹ́ làbí ní kábàsìkò yìí sọ fún yín pé kẹ́ ẹ dà ní ẹ̀jẹ̀ jẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ tọrọ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ọjọ́ ńlá lọ́jọ́ Jímọ̀ ọjọ́ àpéjọ lọ́jọ́ Jímọ̀ kánábí tó ròyìn ẹ̀bẹ́ yẹn oní nítorí ẹ̀dà ní ẹ̀tọ́ náà gbogbo àníyàn wa pátá ní dáadáa ọba àmọ̀ṣẹ́ mo fẹ́ wá ọlọ́mọba wa fẹ́ mo kọ́ wá ọlọ́mọba wa kọ́. Whoever we suffer in this life that will affect us, we don't matter Allah not make him to suffer. Whoever that we enjoy in life, that the enjoyment will affect us, we don't matter that grant him the enjoyment. May Allah grant us at Jannah at the end of the day. May Allah continue to teach us in faith, continue to teach us in taqwa, and make us better Muslims. Ẹni tí ó dààmú tí ó kàn wá mọ́jú ọdún àmọ́ Ọlọ́run, ẹni tí ó nira tí ó kàn wá mọ́jú onínira Ọlọ́run, síwájú wà lè jẹ́ náà, bí wà kọ́ ní mọ́nì, bí wà kọ́ ní bẹ̀rù Ọlọ́run, ayé iwájú ó dáa, ọ̀run iwájú ó dáa, ìjọ náà sọ̀rọ̀ láàrin bá tí mẹ́jọ bàjẹ́, ilé ìnùkan wa mẹ́jọ bàjẹ́, àdáwọlé ìnùkan wájú ó yọrí sí rẹ̀, àdáwọlé náà sọ̀rọ̀ láàrin bá ti jẹ́ yọrí sí rẹ̀, àbẹ̀ ọ́, àsùnkún wá bá ọ, lẹ́yìn rẹ̀ kò sẹ́lẹ̀ mi o, níta ní oṣù tó ọ̀bá sí kọ́ni tó lè ṣe o. Gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ tó tẹ́wọ́ sí ọ yìí wọ́n jẹ́ wọ́n ká wọn ló fífo afọlá rẹ̀ àfibì ọ́ afábára rẹ̀ àfibì ọ́ afọgbó rẹ̀ àfibì ọ́ afàìníkù rẹ̀ àfibì ọ́ àfibèjì rẹ̀ àfibì ọ́ gbogbo etí tó ń gbọ́ mi àtòjú tó ń pò mí ní tẹ́ńdà mi lọ́wọ́ báyìí àníyàn wọn bá mi lórí àṣẹ mẹ́mbà wa tó ń ṣe kójẹ́ làbújá tó ní ìdíwọ́ díẹ̀ tó àbáyé ojú ìdíwọ́ náà lọ́wọ́ wọ́n tàbí kójẹ́ ìjọba ìlú ọ̀run ọlọ́wọ́ mẹ́mbà wa tó ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ epo ọlá méjì làwọn kún bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní ìsìn ọlọ́run tó kọ́ mẹ́mbà wa ẹni owó fún afọlá lọ́wọ́ àfibì ọ́ àwọn wa tó ń ṣe exam lọ́wọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ wọn yege. All our members who have written promotional exam and granted success. All our members who are suffering from one disease or another, the matter heal them. All our members who are facing one challenge or the other, may Allah remove the challenge from them. All people who are on the sick bed now, due to COVID-19, the matter Allah grant them quick recovery. We pray to you, Allah, not to shaking our faith. We pray to you, Allah, not to make our faith our soul to be corrupt. We pray to you, Allah, to continue to teach us in knowledge, widen our provisions, grant us hikmah, grant us knowledge, and grant us understanding of your religion. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma tabatana bi du'aik wa tana bi ijabatik wa qad da'awna kama amartana wa ajibna kama wa'tana ya dal jalali wal ikram innaka la tughlibu al-mi'ad. Allahumma la tad'a lana bima qulna dhanba ila kafarta wal amman ila farajta wal adina ila farajta wa maridan ila shafita wa mayitan ila rahimta wa aduwan ila qadalta wa asira ila yasrita wa aiban ila sarita wa la aqwa ila tarita wa lam tala ila qafita wa la asira ila yasrita ولا جاهلا إلى ألمته ولا ولادا للأفلاتا ولا أقوى إلى فرجته ولا أيضا من هوائج الدنيا ولا رجل لكم إلى قد برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم إنك توكلك الحق بدوني أستجب لكم. اللهم هذا الدعاء ومنك الإجابة وهذا الجود منا ولك فقلان ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. اللهم اجعلنا ممن دعاك فأجابته واستغفرك فغفرته واستنصرك فنصرته واستعداك فأديته وتوكل عليك وكفيته وتب إليك وقبلته واستعداك وأديته يا عزيز يا غفار يا رب العالمين. اللهم انصرنا فوق الأرض وتحت الأرض ومن الأرض إليك. اللهم انصرنا فوق الأرض وتحت الأرض ومن الأرض إليك. اللهم انصرنا فوق الأرض وتحت الأرض ومن الأرض إليك. اللهم ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وتوفنا مسلمين والحقنا بالصالحين اللهم ارزقنا اللهم ارزقنا اللهم علمنا اللهم علمنا اللهم اهدنا اللهم اهدنا اللهم عافنا اللهم عافنا اللهم بلنا اللهم بلنا اللهم ارحمنا اللهم ارحمنا اللهم استرنا اللهم استرنا اللهم استرنا بتلك الجميلة من دار الدين إلى دار الجنة بكلمة السعادة لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الحمد لله الحمد لله الحمد لله رب العالمين صلوا على النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وسلم